This is why we're doing an appeal, because we have people that testified in this case that made separate and different testimony to that case outside of that case hearing.
Oh, I hope they do that because yesterday was, wow, that was really some validity came out of that yesterday.
Yeah, because when that guy's up there and just basically saying, "Yeah, I just didn't do my job," like I was over, and then like to end it and just be like, "Oh, I probably messed up because I was overworked." Like, oh, we don't want to hear that, bro. We don't want to hear that. You didn't do your job. You speculated. You just thought that whatever you can get was okay, and that's it. And it's just like it's sad that that's how police officers work, because it's just like you went, got testimony from a girl, she changed her statement, and then you thought that nobody was going to check you on it, and then here you are. Uh,
Yeah, they're calling her on Twitter. They call her what, Mariah the liar or something,
listen, that's just
something like.
that's what happened when you go on trial and stuff, and you gotta sit there and you gotta
He ain't supposed to be in there anyway.
exactly. But it is what it is, man.
One of the things that I think that we definitely need to support is protect black art for sure.
Yeah, they have a
For sure.
what do they call it? It's the Rap Act. Um, that's going on now. It's pretty much trying to keep rap lyrics outside of trials and stuff. So I think that they're making moves for it, and this will be 100% brought up in that. Like this will be a case law. This will be um, reasons why rap lyrics, social media posts, and all these other things should not be used as you know main testimony and main evidence in trials, because it's just like you don't. I can go online right now and post, I'm a shoot up. I'm a shoot somebody today, and then I can go outside and be put in a situation where I have to defend myself, and I end up shooting somebody, and then they can say, "Well, you posted on your social media that you was gonna shoot somebody, and then you shot somebody, so that's um, premeditated murder." And it's just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I was just joking when I said that. Like, I was playing a video game, I was playing Grand Theft Auto, and somebody was yelling into the microphone, "I'm gonna shoot somebody," and I just, wrote that as a reference to that. I didn't say I was gonna go outside and shoot anybody. I just had to defend myself. Like, this person tried to kill me. They tried to beat me up and threaten my life, and I felt like I had to defend myself. And they're gonna be like, "Well, nope, you said this on Instagram, so I'm sorry."
Well, you think about the technology in this case. I mean, if people are watching and you can look at the technology and how they can pull everything, basically you don't have freedom of speech because they could take anything you say
Out of context.
by this standard and put you on trial.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, because and the problem is that we how do I say this? I don't believe that this is going to be settled, and when I say this, I mean like this type of logic is going to be settled until people of my age, and I'm in my 30s. So people of my age are the judges. And unfortunately, that's going to probably take another 10, 20 years, because these judges are getting on the seats when they're in their 40s and their 50s. It's going to take that long for people of my age to get to that point so we can actually be there and be like, we know what this means. Like, we were on YouTube, we were on Twitter. Like, we know what this means. When somebody says, hashtag free the guys, we know what that means. It doesn't mean,
Freakway.
yeah, like, it doesn't mean that, whatever she was trying to say, like, we know what it means. And, that's just kind of, unfortunately, how, the justice system is going to work. It's like once these old people get, released from their duties, and, you know, new people come in, it's just not going to be a thing. It's not going to be able to be fixed. It's not going to be able to be addressed because the people that are going to do the fixing and the addressing aren't there yet. They're not there. They're not there to be able to be able to update the laws. Like the updating of laws come with every generation, and the generation that needs to update these laws to be updated with social media and the way people speak now and how kids speak, like if the whatever the DA, whatever their stance is, every kid in America can be a gang member because every kid says what's up slime, what's up gang. Like that's just how people talk. It's just normal speech at this point. Just like how last decade or 2 decades ago, if the way everybody feels about everybody's sexuality and stuff, you know how much hate crimes would have been said to have been done then when kids are beating up kids that are you know who thought that they were gay and it was just like, hey man, you're gay, we're gonna beat you up, or saying things about that, or even dudes, kids saying no homo, or doing, it everything has to be updated. But if you take things out of context or out of that time period, and that's what they're doing, is that they're not updating with the time, with the laws aren't updating with the time. So it's kind of just like they're using laws from back in times where slang and gang terminologies and all this stuff wasn't popular, and the only time you would say those things is if you were actually a gang member and all these other things. Well, guess what? Your kid at your home, your white home, Judge Whitaker, your kid probably goes to school and be like, "What's up, slime?" They do. And it's just not something you can just hide against, because if your kid is in college, that's what they're saying. If they're on a basketball team or a football team, "What's up, gang? What's up,
Okay,
my
I have a
kid?" Like that's just how we talk.
I agree with you 100% on that. I have a 14, about to be 15-year-old son. He's on varsity football. So basically, they were trying to tell me that I had like 8 gang members in my house last weekend because
Mhm.
they all talk like that. They
That's
all
it.
talk like that on social media, on TikTok, on Discord. Now, as much as you want to monitor it, that's just the way that's just the way it is now. And the laws, like you said, they're not updated to be able to keep up with the times with the social media and all this other stuff that is going on. And
Exactly.
these are all young football players. They're not getting in trouble. They're playing football, going to school, but they all still talk like that. And they're
Exactly.
still going to school with kids. I drop my son off and pick him up every day from school because I don't even let him be outside of the school by himself in the neighborhood I live in.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, they really need to get up with the times and get with the program. Like you say, you're in your 30s, he's 15. What is it going to be like then? I worry so much for him.
Exactly. And it's just
You
like,
know?
I can say that, but I know at when I was in high school, we were doing the same thing. Like, and my era, my generation, we are the creators of that. Like, we were in school. Shit, I remember. You remember when 50 Cent and Kanye West was beefing? Like, that was a line you drew in the sand where it was just like, nah, I'm Team 50, I'm G Unit, and then everybody's just like, nah, I'm with Kanye and stuff. Like, it's just, even with
I grew
sports.
up in Long Beach, okay, and I grew up with Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, E40,
Looking at
Short.
you deeper. I'm just in Connecticut.
See,
I'm in Connecticut,
yeah.
White Oak,
Well,
Connecticut.
I'm in Seattle now, but I'm 17 hours from Cali, so it's like it's different over here. Like
Mhm.
the stuff that's happening in the court system here is bad, but when I see what's going on down there, I'm like, man, this is crazy. That it wouldn't fly here.
Exactly. And then it's
And
like,
it's got me so confused and so upset that I'm like Empress Fox was hosting that thing on Friday. If all these changes hadn't happened, me and my daughter was just gonna fly down there just to support her and her little, her protest, not her little protest. I didn't mean it
mhm.
like that. Her protest, we were gonna go down there just to support that and fly back home, because this is ridiculous. And I've been putting the word out here all over Seattle, California, like the more people that get together, we can really work to make some changes. But it's going to be a long time
Exactly.
coming.
I
You
think that they're
know,
trying to they're doing a protest tomorrow. I believe that
yeah,
I
it
saw
starts
that.
at 7 a.m.
Yeah. So depending
Right.
on how this
So
go,
depending upon what happens, yep,
but I
exactly.
would say that they still need to do that. And if I'm, you know, depending on
I
how
agree.
everything goes, I would take though the defenders need to go down there too. Yeah, that would be a perfect chance for Young Thug to
Oh
go
yeah.
outside after this, goes home and goes right up in that rally and just perform, put on a show,
Everybody who don't
get
have
a
a plea deal
yup.
because we can't be associating with no felons.
I'm pretty sure that they're not going to accept any of that stuff. They not accepting
I,
none of that
I
felony
hope
stuff. I'm
not.
pretty
God, I
sure they're
hope
not.
not.
Besides the people
That
that
is just a
already are
trap.
felons. And
That's a
Hey, just
trap.
to
yeah,
interrupt, Law and Crime just updated to 12
12.
o'clock
Yeah,
now.
I seen that, so we're gonna be here for a while. But yeah, like I would just really sit there and just be like, the attorney should go down there, the defenders should go down there, and everybody should go down there and just, even if they're not there for a long time, just go down there and say thank you, thank for everybody for, supporting us and, just making your voice be heard because if this wasn't public, if we weren't able to see this, these guys would have been thrown to the slaughter by now. It would have been over with. There would have been no Glanville ex parte.
If they do get released, will they even be processed out by then? And if they are processed out, will they be coming out in the middle of the protest? Because that would be fire.
If from the way I'm seeing it and what the way that Thug was talking, I think that Thug plea deal got done yesterday. I don't think Thug is part of the plea deals talk that are happening right now because they said there's
Because he ain't
five.
did nothing wrong.
They said that there's five groups of lawyers that are talking today. But we have Thug, we have Yak, we have Rod, we have both Quays, right?
Yeah.
And then who else? Thug,
Shannon.
Huey,
Shannon.
yeah, and Shannon. Then the dude that sits in the back with the glasses and the hat, the glasses and the hair. So that's six. So if only five did it today, that means somebody did theirs yesterday, and I'm pretty sure that's Thug. And
Oh
for him to
man.
say that you're not going to see me anymore to Dennis, I think he's
Yeah.
already done. I think he's already being processed out.
Oh
And
my gosh.
if everything happens today, the processing will happen today. Judge Whitaker will sign everything today. It will be sent to the sheriffs to by the end of today, and then they will be released in the morning.
So right about the time that the protest
7 a.m.,
starts.
6, 7 a.m. They'll be released. Crack of
Yeah.
dawn, that gate will be open and they'll be walking out.
Empress should probably be there. That's where she's gonna be at. So we'll see. That's great though.
Everybody's gonna be there. All of the,
Mm.
I think everybody's gonna be there. I would think that that would be a perfect chance for, people to speak out, changes to
Yeah.
be made, and a line to be drawn in the sand. And if I'm that lady that's running for DA as well, if I was her, I would go there as well. I would go there with all of the defendants, Ashley Merchant, everybody, and just say, this is where we draw the line, and we need to change. And Fonnie Willis ain't the change. And fuck her birthday. Fuck her birthday. Run it up, because this is an important time period where it doesn't have to be like, you know, for clout or anything, but this is a perfect example and a perfect time and a perfect storm to where everything that has went wrong, that could have went wrong in the trial, went wrong in this trial, and it was public. And there's no way that they can hide behind saying, "Oh, we didn't do anything wrong. The people that were trying the case didn't know better. There was mistakes or whatever." It's just like, no, you have veteran people on the case and they were doing so bad at their job that, like, how bad a perspective is that it would be three black women, right? Fonnie, Love, Hilton. Three black women had to get removed from their jobs because of their actions and their behavior and their unprofessionalism. Like, I would have never thought. I started to see the tea leaves once I saw Atkins and then Mr. Brown started to show up to court, and I was just like, I ain't never seen that fat black dude there before. I ain't never seen this white dude there before when they were sitting on the bench. And then they started creeping on up and creeping on up. And then next thing you know, they sitting at the table, and I'm just like, they're getting ready to replace them. They're getting ready to move them out of here. And then
I
once I
believe
saw that, I was just like, mm-hmm. But then once a body came, I was just like, oh, they're getting kicked out because they're doing such a bad job that they had to put the white men in there.
Yeah.
Imagine you have to put a white man, two white men, to speak
Hmm.
on black culture, and they're doing a better job of speaking on it coherently than the black women are. They're so disconnected. It shouldn't ever been a problem to where I can say, listen, I'd rather listen to Atkins read out these lyrics than hear Hilton and Love read out these
I'm
lyrics.
serious, for real.
Like they up there struggling, and I'm just like, ain't Hilton, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Just because you go to law school don't mean that you wasn't black. And that's the problem I have with a lot of these lawyers, especially Mr. Brown. They get up there and they just try to act so unbecoming of themselves. It's just like there's no way. If I was a lawyer, and this is something I actually wanted to, I wanted to be a lawyer, but I was like, I just can't go to school for that much. But if I
That's
was
a long time.
yeah, if I was a lawyer and my job is to speak to the jury so that they understand things, I would not be up there with all of this lingo for the judge because I don't care about what the judge thinks. I'm going to get up there and speak like I'm talking to a regular person. I'm not going to get up there and be like, hey, constituent of the statute 151BA, blah, 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 blah. When you say this and this and this and that, I'm just going to go up there and be like, there's a law in Georgia that says if you say something like this is the outcome. That is very receivable for a regular person to understand, as well as your client. And then when you have to go back and say to the judge, and then you say, and judge, I am referencing statute A1B41A of the Second Georgia Appeal, District 4 and Court 3. Like that's how you got to speak to people, but they're just up there just chatting their ass off and just trying to sound like the law book, and it's just like it's not working, it's not believable, it's not connecting. And then when you have the chance to be relatable with reading these Instagram posts and trying to say like it would have been a lot more, it would have had a lot more weight to their case if the way that they spoke and interacted with the Instagram posts, the songs, all of the terminology and stuff, if they actually spoke as if they used it before or if they were around it or if they knew it. They're speaking to it as if they're outsiders.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. They are doing that. And they did that throughout the whole trial. And of all people, Miss Love would even switch up.
Exactly. Code switching. She code switches all throughout the trial. It's
She,
ridiculous.
she's super slang when she's trying to get something out of you. And then when it comes to the post and what is really being said, she acts like I don't know, it's crazy. It's so fake to me.
Yeah, every time she's on some stuff, it's just, oh my bad, y'all. The country coming out of me, the country, and then it's just like, and then right after that, she'll start screaming, and it's blah blah, and it's just like, what are you doing? You're losing. You're losing people. You're losing the crowd that's watching, and if you're losing the crowd that's watching, regardless if we're biased, the best part of having things live streamed is that if you can get the people that are biased to question, then the people that are neutral are going to believe it. And if you're not making us, there's been days where I sat there and be like, oh, that ain't a good look. Oh, shit, they might have, hey, listen, that ain't good. But it's been way too little of those days and way too many other days to where it was just like, this is completely a shit show. And if I'm a neutralized judge or neutralized jury, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this is a shit show, then there's just nothing you can do about that at that point. because you're not connecting, and you're not being relatable, and the story that you're telling is not coherent, it's not fluent, it's not flowing, and it doesn't make sense. And this is all not even in order. None of this shit is in order.
No, not at
They're
all.
going all over the place. I'm just like,
Hmm.
if y'all would have just did everything in chronological order, or opposite of chronological order, y'all could have started with everything before the Rico, everything before y'all arrested them, right? You
And
could
then
have
worked your way
worked your way
backwards.
back and ended with Donovan Thomas.
Yep, that would have been
That
the.
would have been the bombshell. But
Yep.
they started they didn't even start with Donovan Thomas. They started in the middle. They started in the middle. Then they went back to Donovan Thomas. Then they left Donovan Thomas, went up to 2022, went down to 2021, went to 19, went back down to Donovan Thomas, then went up to, then they went past Donovan Thomas, went into 2014, went back to Donovan Thomas, went up to 2019, went down to like 2017, 18, went back to Donovan Thomas. It's all over the place. How can you, if I read a book, I'm gonna remember the book in one or two orders. I'm gonna remember it in order that I read it, or I'm gonna remember it in the opposite order that I read it. Because the last thing that I read is the most fresh, and the first thing I read is the least fresh. But if the story is
Hmm.
good enough, I'm going to remember it from beginning to end. Just like a movie, you're gonna remember from beginning to end.
There's no way we would. There's no way you can rewrite.
I
You
don't
could
even
rewrite.
remember day two. I only remember day one because of the mistrial.
Yeah, me too. That was the first day of the first mistrap.
Exactly, and then then up until that point, everything is a blank until Woody shows up.
Yeah, then Woody comes.
And then Woody gets
And
off, and then it's just like I can remember that the detectives, Dennis, the
Dennis,
woman, and then the other one with the glasses that was up there just stupid. I don't remember his name, but the dark skinned bald head dude, he was up
you're
there.
talking about Bean,
Yeah,
Adrian Bean.
yeah. So then it's just like, all right, I remember them, and then
I'm high.
I remember
He's like, I'm so high
yeah.
right now, you guys. I don't
It's
even
just
know
like
what the hell's going
you
on.
like, and the thing is like we're invested. So we
Yeah,
watch every day and we don't remember the shit. So how can
not
the
even a little.
jurors remember it? They have to go into their notes if they're taking notes. And best to
I
believe
think
I wouldn't be taking notes on this bullshit.
But
I,
they've taken their notes and shredded half of them so many
At
times
that point, I would
that if
stop writing notes. So I'm like, if y'all
me
gonna keep
too,
taking my shit, I ain't gonna write no more because I ain't gonna hurt my wrists up here.
type shit. Yes.
Like what? I would have been like, y'all better give me an iPad or something or a voice recorder, and then y'all could just delete my recordings because at this point, this is crazy.
I just want to say, I think that Love just she slow walked everything, and then she would get in her feelings because she could never accept. She's a right fighter, what Dr. Phil would call right fighter, and she's just going to belabor, and a lot of those days were so unnecessary because she was trying to fix her persona, fix her, her image. And that one whole week was a drag that I forget, I can't even remember who the witness was on the stand. And then,
What time period?
that's just
Cause we
crazy.
gotta talk about time periods. We can't even like go to like witnesses or anything. We gotta say like, hey man, was this January, June, March? Like,
Well, this was September after Woody.
oh, this is after Woody. So whoever it wasn't Mook, or it would have. No, Mook was in August. September. So
No, Montrunk was September.
oh, so Mook was September. So who was before Mook?
Wasn't it Quindarius Zachary?
No, he was after
It was Woody,
Woody,
Montrunk,
Mook, then
Quindarius.
Quindarius.
Oh yeah,
And
that's right. That's
So
right.
in between
Oh
Moontunk
yeah, because he
and
was in the hospital. He was in the
yeah,
hospital.
so in
Yeah.
between Moontunk and Woody, that's when they were scraping for people. So they were getting the records lady, the 911 lady to come, the
That poor lady been there
evidence,
so
the
many
crime
times.
scene tech, all of the bullets, the T-Mobile dude.
Did you guys hear her when she said, "Oh, Lordy,"
Yeah, cause she
when
was just like,
still got
she was like, please be nice to me, don't hurt me.
I think the Q50 witness was absolutely not needed.
that was
Oh, and
ridiculous.
him too. Oh my Lord Jesus, you can't tell
Oh,
me that if any of those people, I know I forgot how many people they said were like black and like of age. That's on the jury. But once he got up there and said that that Q50, that car looked like a Q50, and you couldn't tell a damn thing on them
no,
pictures, and he said it's a Q50 because I know it's a Q50. All right, bro, I'm out of here, dog. That shit looked like a Buick more than an Infinity, and it looked
I
like a
agree with that. I thought it
Camry.
was a Buick too, yeah, I thought it was like a Buick too, or like a not a Pontiac, but yeah, like a Buick. I thought the
Yeah, one of
same
them.
thing. Mm-hmm.
But we don't know because none of that's conclusive. Nothing like, and then on top of that, if y'all say it's a Q50 and y'all said the crime happened on that in that car and they shot from that car and that car was returned to the dealership or the renter place after that, why did y'all not get the car, put it into evidence, and do all of the testing you need? Find the residue, DNA. You could have found all of that stuff, but you didn't do it because you didn't do it, or they did it and found out that there was nothing in there, and they have to just sit on the lie and just be like, well, we think that they did it, so we're going to say that it happened in this car because we know this car is tied to them.
But but did you hear they had to go to Mississippi and take it from the poor woman that bought it from Enterprise and bring it up there to do the testing?
But when did she buy it?
Well, we don't know. They never said that.
Exactly, because she probably bought it 2, 3 years later.
Yeah, probably is probably. Look, they probably got it back from the police impound, gave it to Enterprise, and then sold it to her.
I don't even. That's the thing. I don't think they ever got it.
I don't think they
I
ever
don't think
got it
I've never
either.
heard them
Oh
say
wait,
that.
no, they didn't. You guys are talking about, yeah, no, they didn't get that car,
They didn't get the
and that's why
affinity.
yesterday, who was it who got up there and asked that detective with the
Shark,
cowboy hat? No, yeah,
Shark.
Sharp.
That's why he asked
When
the
he was asking
question
him, yeah, he was asking all them questions about
about the car,
the
and that's
headliner.
yeah, and that's why he told Judge Whitaker, this is going to be very relevant. This is, and she was just like, and she when she heard him say that, she said,
Like, oh,
"Oh,
okay.
I know what you're asking for. Go ahead."
Yeah,
Because
but she
if
should have
he's
knew
going to sit
before.
there and say, if you know a car was used for a drive-by or after a drive-by as a getaway car, the GSR would be all over the car. And for them to say that the GSR wouldn't be in the car after the shooting because it didn't happen in the shooting, that's a lie. It's all over your hands. It's all over your clothes. If you touch the steering wheel, you put your hand on the seat. You touch anything, the GSR is going to be on it. So like
Mm-hmm.
that's a lie. Like we're not that stupid. We all saw the
Right.
fucking Tory Lanez trial
Oh
and
yeah.
we all saw that there was no GSR on the man's hand,
I didn't
but it
watch
was
the
on the
trial, but
girl's
I heard about
hands,
that part. I heard about that part.
and they ignored that. So we're not
Dang.
going to sit through this trial and let y'all gaslight us again.
Yeah.
I'm not letting it happen. I'm gonna call that out. If this happened in a car or right after it, GSR is going to be on your hands and it's going to be spread off for everything. That's why you have to use milk and bleach to wash your hands and your clothes off to get that GSR off your body.
Yeah.
You have to
That's
use
another
that. You have to use a something thick to get it off your body.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that
unless they
one
did it,
thing
like what? It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
I just want to say I think that one thing that this trial has showed with all this technology is we need to teach the younger generations their Miranda rights, and I say that as a pun on what I'm going to say. Everything you say can and will be used against you.
Hmm.
You can be on these platforms, but you need to be, you're in school, you're getting your grades, you're working towards your goals and stuff like that. And this, you got to be, we got to teach, it's just like teaching a kid to drive. We got to teach them how to drive responsibly.
Hmm.
We just got to teach them how to use these platforms responsibly because
Or
everything
teach
you
them how to not use these platforms.
Exactly.
yeah,
But
Mm.
that's
that's the
not going
part
to
of
happen.
that's a part of the thing is that that's a part of that type of lifestyle. Just like you're gonna be braggadocious and you're gonna be up there and being stupid, and unfortunately, the stupid deserve to be caught, regardless of if you
Yeah,
give
they
up your right or
watching all
not.
that. Yep, they're
You know.
watching everything.
But
You can't post nothing on social media. Like a lot of these kids think that what they post on Snapchat goes away after 24 hours. That is not a thing. I had to tell my son. I'm like, he don't post nothing like that. But I was like, you need to tell your friends or your little guys that you be associating with on these social medias. Like I'll troll my son's friends' social media because I want to see what my son. I'm a very responsible mother. So I'm like, hey, you need to tell such and such that he needs to not be posting that kind of stuff, especially with you on his page. I don't know what his mama's not or is telling him, but you need to tell him, like as his friend, guy to guy, young man to young man, look, man, that's probably not a good look.
Well, Deputy Ingram, who is boss of that, I mean, just think about, I don't know if you caught that, but when one of them guys that was standing there, he was literally behind him while he was testifying. What kind of image does that get the jury? This is the first time I've ever seen that happen in a courtroom.
Yeah, like he was a danger or a threat. That's the way I felt too.
But that was a manipulation to the jury. And
By
then,
the DA's office.
correct. And
Yep.
then, he was the one that did that thing about Sylvia. He was strolling the streams or profiles, whatever, because they got that civil rights woman up there. And then two of them went and lied on that other girl. She was almost home. But the whole thing is the state, and I 100% believe Love was looking at all these platforms and seeing what was said
Oh
about her.
yeah, she's. Oh yeah, yeah. She's definitely watched. She's been watching. You said what? No, you're it's a little bit, but you're fine. What'd you say, King? Oh yeah, on your live. Mm. Yeah, I watched her. Yeah, I watched. I'm not a lawyer, but live yesterday. I saw that. Yep, she's there today too, ain't she? Yeah. Hmm. That's why. That's why they can't do the actual homework that the judge keep giving them because they too busy trolling Twitter and YouTube and all these watching all this stuff. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like we just received it at 8 a.m. this morning, Your Honor. We just got it 5 minutes ago. Mhm.
I think another thing I observed, I think, and I would have to go back and look at But I think every mistrial motion came on Love and Hilton.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. Yeah, they are usually the one that triggers every. Yeah, we can hear you now. But yeah, Love and Hilton are usually the mistrial triggers. That's definitely, I agree with you on that.
And another thing that I've observed is, everybody said Hilton, 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 but actually when she asked questions, she really didn't slow drag. And I remember that day particularly, I think it was in September, but did you see her grab Hilton's arm and have a heated whatever? And then yesterday, they said that Love was out there yelling and all that again. And, I kind of feel bad for Hilton in a way because I think she was just following orders. She's supposed to be a professor at Emory and all that. And yes, we've seen her make mistakes, but I don't see her as being as incompetent as Love.
Right. Yeah, this was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Seriously, based off of all I know. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Tell me to have a bad day. Maybe things will go different. Yeah. 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 That's funny.
I think yesterday was a deliberate sabotage by the state, or throwing their case, um, because there was no reason for her to hand him photocopies when she knew that it was published on the screen. They didn't give any other. Uh, when they published those photos, they always moved them away from that. Uh, the right, and she didn't do that at all.
Oh, I just want to say, just for the record, like literally for the record, Slime Life Shody is not slow. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that. He is not a dummy. You got to think about it. He been watching this trial. Everybody who has been watching this trial anyway. Of course, if he's going to be called as a witness, he's been watching this trial. But I seen him. I don't know if that was that his mama that was sitting next to his attorney. Did you guys see? I think that was okay. Sitting next to young Slime Life Shorty's attorney because he went over and got his stuff from her at the end of the day. I seen it on somebody else's channel, right? He went over and got his stuff from her at the end of the day. And when he bent over, he was smiling and laughing like, I mean, I seen it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah. Uh, yep. I agree. I agree 100%. I agree, unless it was a total accident.
Scotty was very measured in his answers. He was very careful on how he answered each question. And after he made that comment about Shannon being in jail, and then there was a brouhaha, and he was like, "What? I wouldn't." But I mean, that was very genuine. It flowed. It didn't sound rehearsed.
And then when he said, I have a question and they ignored it, he's like, okay, well, I guess I can say it then.
The jurors heard it though.
Oh, yeah. I'm worried about Shannon. Shannon was the one who was going through the most, like, had the most stuff that he had to be fighting on this thing. And so if there is any kind of deals or anything going on, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with him because we didn't even get to what's the guy's name? We got
Doo-Wop
to
or Nard, they're in the next set. Doo-Wop and Nard were in the next trial. And I forget who the fourth one was.
Shamel. What's his name? Drinks.
Drakes.
Yeah. So I'm curious if there is any kind of deals or anything happening right now. I'd be most curious to see what Shannon is looking at. So I hope they do share that with us. Right. Right. Right.
Regardless of what happens today, do you all want to know if Steele has McDonald's video?
Yeah, yes, I do. I know he does.
I think that the Donovan Thomas and all that violence that happened after that was all because of Shell Kell. And am I understanding right that that was Donovan Thomas' brother?
You talking about threat? What's she talking about?
I'm talking about. Well, I'm just saying that it seems like the core.
We got the seal. I think we're live. I we got the seal up. I think we might be.
Smith, we got 15 minutes, even though it's on the seal.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Right. Yeah, no, what you're saying is right, though. I agree with you. Yeah, it's just been just a poop show. I'm just not gonna cuss, but it's just been a shit show for real. Like, I guess we about to be live in about 15 minutes. You said, Jayhawk.
Yes.
I know the chat on Law and Crime is going up like it usually do. Everybody's trying to say court is canceled, but I don't know. But I don't think we'd be live if it was now, would we?
I don't think so. I think they will come on the record and say what's going on, or they know the public would be outraged.
Yeah, it would be a bunch of problems. We would definitely need Love and Hilton to be trolling then.
But I agree with King and you, Smith. I think that, you know, Empress, she spent a lot of time putting that together. And if they come out with whatever they come out with, even though the signs say free young thug, I mean, everybody should go down there to point out the other things she said, the prosecutorial misconduct, jail with no bail, all that stuff, Rice Street conditions, and all that. While I'm sure Atlanta News 11 and Atlanta 5 is going to be there. Maybe they're hoping to catch them come out or whatever afterward. They may need
Oh,
to.
you're
They
okay.
they may need to be there today with all them signs and that, just because we've seen this happen now. I think we'll see it happen again. This kind of
Well, Empress did get
prosecution.
on the road. Empress did get on the road early. If you look at her Twitter, she's already en route, so she may be there sooner than later. But I think she's in Chicago, so
Yeah,
but she's trying to get there. So hopefully she gets there in time and she makes a safe, has safe travels and all of that.
right. I mean, I reposted when she was down there the one day, and uh, she had the signs out there, and people stopped by and ask her questions, or they would comment, or people would walk. I mean, I saw on the one live she did that they harassed her because her signs were up against the cement block
Yeah, they did. They gave
foundation.
trying to give her a hard time just because they don't have anything better to do with their time because this trial's so long. I know I did the same. I reposted and I told her to be safe. I was there when she took her little rest break and whatnot. And I'm just like, I wish I could be there with you. You have my support. So it's like I don't know, but there's not a lot of people that's doing what she's doing. So mad props to Empress Fox.
Are you going to do it spaces afterwards? Maurice is moving the camera around right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you for hosting it, and do well with your therapy. Always take care, self care. You know.
Yeah, and we appreciate you, King. Me either.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'll
All right.
keep an eye out on it. Hey,
Yeah, I hope so too.
forget
All right,
my
you guys have a
spelling.
good day.
Forget my spelling errors if I be typing too fast.
All
All right.
right, y'all take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hey there, everybody. Thank you so much for watching our Sarah Boone trial coverage. Now, guess what? This isn't Sarah Boone's first time interacting with the court system. In fact, she had been charged previously with domestic violence against the same man she's now on trial for killing. And how do I know this? Well, because we put Sarah Boone's name and location into the Truth Finder search bar, and we were able to find out all sorts of information. When we scrolled down to her criminal history, we found minor things like a speeding ticket, but also the much more severe charge of murder that she's now facing in an Orlando courtroom right now. And even if you don't work in true crime, you can find out all kinds of information on Truth Finder, like which sex offenders may live in your area. Even use Truth Finder to see what's available about yourself online. Here's the main idea. It can be hard to know who to trust, and knowledge today is power. So right now, you can get 50% off of your first month of confidential background reports. Just go to truthfinder.com/LCLive and access information on almost anyone.